Let me know if you guys can hear me now. Give me a 5 in the chat if you guys could hear me. Are you sure? Oh, they say they can hear me now. So I guess it did affect it. I fixed it. Great. Okay, guys, hang on one second. Hang on one second. Technical difficulties, but I fixed it myself. Can you believe it? Hang on one second here. Okay. Sorry about that. I think I'm going to have to change the name of this live stream to technical difficulties, but actually a bunch of other things because I want to talk about a bunch of other things. But aside from that, I was over here going, hey, can you guys hear me? Hello, hello, press 5 and all that. But before that, I gave a little introduction, letting you guys know that I've been talking for about a week straight, some days, multiple hours out of the day. So, and that's aside from living my life. So I'm losing my voice. I've been losing my voice over here trying to speak. So I'm happy that the chat is and the volume is fixed and everything. Let's see who's here. We got Lita, Aaron, Mur, Eric, Kyle, Jam, Princess, Nerdy One. I think I already said Eric. Let me see. I'm going up here. Princess Skate, how are you doing, honey? Tan May. Okay. So let's get started. I just wanted to do a little brief chat with you guys. So, what do you think about the Monopoly member? And I call him a Monopoly member because he profited off the same abuse videos while admitting he knows it's wrong, but still laughing at it, still normalizing it. Hi, Victoria. Still saying it's okay to watch or laugh and laughing at everything the old man is doing, but ignoring the abuse of the mom while jumping in on the bullying and encouraging of the cursing of the mom while calling her the B word a couple times, calling me the B word even as well. But what do you guys think about him admitting to the abuse? Because you know that what's the Daddy 05 response to all this? Well, it's fake. He's just going to say it's fake. If the family's already been running around saying it's fake. The sister, scapegoated sister's been running around saying this is fake. So I guess this Monopoly member has profited and done reaction videos and has a channel with 20,000 subs built on it because of this, saying he acknowledges verbal and emotional abuse to be abuse and that's what's going on. What do you guys think about that? I was just curious. 2 dislikes right off the bat, but nobody in the chat stating their discrepancy and or as to why they think that Monopoly member stating his opinion, there's something wrong with that, or me acknowledging that. Why does that deserve a dislike, I wonder? Hey, Mur, how you doing, honey? Lita says he doesn't know what he wants. Who doesn't know what he wants? Are we talking about D-Crack or are we talking about Pickle Boy or? Because for me, D-Crack admitting that there was abuse is huge, and I have nothing bad to say about him. I have nothing bad to say about that person. He's admitted to the abuse. It's what everyone else has been ignoring for a year. It's what the cleanup guy's been laughing about. So I have respect for that. We differ. I respectfully disagree with him in regards to making money off of laughing at what I see to be abuse material and content, and he sees to be, I guess what he says, entertainment, because he says I was taking it too seriously, and in my opinion, he's not taking it serious enough because this is a real abuse family. And he says he doesn't know about the abuse in the family, but he did a reaction video to write him out of our lives where the kids say they've been abused, where they talk about the sexual abuse in the family, where they mention the brother being addicted to drugs and things like that. So, but at the end of the day, he admitted to it, did he not? I don't know if he wanted to make some kind of Can you turn that on? I don't know if he wanted to make it seem like physical abuse is worse, and that's why he's saying he didn't see any. But for me, I have to let my audience know the truth, which is that all the abuses are equally as harmful. And based on who you're talking to, whatever abuse they've dealt with might be the most harmful to them. And that could be physical or emotional or verbal, or psychological or whatever. But the point is validating it and acknowledging it to be bad and seeing that it is wrong and it is bad. So the fact he did that, I thought that was huge, that he admitted that he saw emotional abuse and verbal abuse. I thought that was huge. Kyle says he thinks he's desensitized to abuse and finds it fun. For some people, maybe, because some people have admitted to me that they've gone to Pickle Boy's channel and they've lived in an abusive life, or you know, were prone to having to put up with abuse or were in abuse and couldn't get out, and they would watch the channel and think it was normal. People have admitted that to me. Yeah. Um, you could be desensitized, could be dancing around the subject too. Because when we see someone who's just laughing at the dad, even though he's being abusive, but encouraging the bullying of the mother and disrespecting the mom while getting the story wrong, that's not always the best thing either. So, but if anyone does disagree, you're more than welcome to jump in the chat. I personally don't have anything against anybody in this monopoly at this point. It's pointless. It's really pointless, and it's not constructive. So, I mean, if anyone has anything to say against the material, or they want to disprove the material, or they don't like it because they think it's not true, then they can come in and tell us why at any time. These are just my opinions, no one else has to have them. Princess says, sad to say, but many people don't understand that if the abuse isn't tangible, that it is physical, then it is still abuse. Well, yeah. So if the abuser is abusing you and they hurt you physically and they give you a mark, then they see what they've done to you. Or if they broke a bone, they got to take you to the doctor. But you know what? But even in this family, with the story Pickle Boy shared, he said he had glass thrown to his face, a glass jar. And you would think that anyone would take a child at that point to the doctor, but they took him and bought him a Batman toy. So, but yeah, some people that are just pushing off verbal abuse or emotional abuse, like we see in some of these episodes, pushing it off onto somebody else, they're not the ones that have to cope with that pain. In this family, it was the mother who, her coping mechanism that she had learned was self-mutilation. And that directly ties back to her coping with stress and abuse and pain and thinking she deserved it. And it ties directly back into the abuse. Hi, Gonzo Bombers. Nerdy One says he's shocked, or sorry, see? You even you said with your screen name. People always confuse me for a guy. And I thought for the longest time you were a guy, so you are a female. Okay. Nerdy One says that she's shocked by the old man's mother not doing anything about the jar situation. Well, why? Why didn't she? And what does it mean that she didn't step up and do something? And why do we even put that story on our channel and talk about it? Because it's not just an abuser getting mad and abusing, which we'll talk about that a little bit later, about anger leading to abuse. But also it was her lack of action. And the fact that she didn't do anything. She never called the police. She never held the abuser accountable so he wouldn't do it again, which we know that there was consecutive and multiple abuse stories in this family, so the abuse persisted and kept occurring. So that's neglect. So that's why we also have to consider her to be abuser and that to be child abuse as well and neglect. So just in that fact alone, she's a child abuser. I didn't label her one in the dysfunctional family tree video because I wasn't sure at that point if she was or not. But with this flying jar story, if she's going to help and get the Batman toy and the dad never had the police called on him and nothing ever happened in that situation, then absolutely, yeah. We would have to consider that abuse as well, because if you're in a situation like that at home, you have to know that you have the power to prevent somebody's abuse, or you have the power to maybe prevent it from happening again if you stand up for the child, not the abuser. You need to stand up for the victim. And it sounds like a horrific accident, or sorry, a horrific accident. It wasn't an accident. It sounds like a horrific tragedy. I don't know how anybody could have not called the police. I don't know if I've ever would have talked to the son again if he did something like that and never got help for the alcoholism, never stopped abusing or neglecting other kids, never tried to get everyone out of poverty. Seems like an unforgivable thing, but in this situation, we have somebody who's not even asking for forgiveness. He went his whole life without having to have asked for forgiveness or admitted that it was him, because he never got out of his abuse role because he was being enabled. So Princess, the member that acknowledged emotional abuse stated that he never saw the old man. Well, he said he saw verbal abuse and emotional abuse between them, and he didn't think they were right together. So, but I mean, just someone having a conversation, because the first thing he said was he didn't know me, and he didn't know anything about the channel, but he did. But then he was able to have a conversation somewhat about it and admit to it, which was big. I think that was huge. Mr. Fairfax says he'll be honest, he laughed at more than a few old man videos. He says if you've grown up in a situation like that, you see things differently than people who haven't. I validate your perspective. I've also laughed at non-abusive videos that they've made, because those are the funny videos. To me, the ones with the abuse aren't funny. And then when you hear, more about their abuse stories from their childhood and they're divulging that the children are being abused and all that, then you really figure it out. You're like, oh, wait a second. This is a real abusive family that used their abuse to catapult their stardom on YouTube, make a lot of money. And there's people that have gotten hurt in this family, everyone that's been involved with the abuse, just like you could admit in your own life, abuse has affected you negatively. Let the audience know that it affected them negatively as well, and we could clean up the abuse, just clean it up for other people so it's not so bad. And so you don't hurt or hinder anyone's life, really. Nerdy One says we have mason jars and those things are heavy. The pickle could have died. Yeah, very easily he could have died. And you're right, because mason jars are very heavy. And this was the one, he said specifically, the kind that had the handle on it, which is just going to add weight and make it even heavier. A big mason jar. Mind you, why are you throwing anything out of anger at your kids anyways? But we're going to get to that. We're going to talk about anger that leads to abuse. Can you give me another one of these? Some water. Aaron says people need to realize that emotional abuse is just as powerful, if not worse, than physical. Well, that's going to be your perspective and opinion. Everyone's going to have something different, because I've had people share their stories on here of their physical abuse and how it's hindered and hurt their lives. As long as we know that they're all dangerous and they're all just as bad. If people walk away knowing that, then that's wonderful. That's really good. That's going to help other people. Kyle says he laughed out of disbelief at those videos because they should at least have shame for their actions and the abuse got on tape. Right, but if someone's giving you a platform and paying you and telling you it's okay, then the abuser's always gonna abuse the platform. And if you have an audience that backs it up, I mean, look at all those old abuse videos. Majority of the people ignoring the abuse, really. And then also the people telling the stories like Pickle or the sister telling it in comedically and laughing about it, not taking it seriously and or trivializing it. Nerdy One says admitting there was abuse is a good start. Well, that's the only start. Absolutely. Yeah, just admitting that there's abuse and that it's wrong, and then we could move on. There shouldn't be a battle to prove abuse or get mad at the people that are not exposing it, because they exposed it a long time ago with their own stories and their own footage. But the people that are taking it, serious enough to help other people and realize that that situation isn't just going to hurt maybe some other family, it hurt that family because it hurts every family that is involved with it. That's how bad and dangerous it is. It's kind of my point. Princess says, yes, the acknowledgement is huge. Oh no, we have people that are getting deleted already. Aw, that's sad. Well, I mean, you're more than welcome to come in and have a conversation, but oh, hey Chris, how are you doing? Aaron says the fact that they became millionaires off that discussing content is legitimately insane. Yeah, but it's same thing happened with Daddy05, right? He made a lot of money and came back, started up the second channel and in hopes of just restarting and making money again, which he was. So, hey Jennifer. Uh-oh, I lost the chat for a second. Okay, well. Oh, you know what? I'm not on live chat, that's why. Okay, sorry guys, hang on a second. Jam says to get views over this doesn't validate it. There's no disclaimer or openness about it being fake or for entertainment purposes only. Well, they categorize it as entertainment, but you as the viewer are allowed to come to a conclusion as to whether or not you think it's funny, just like with any programming. And that's kind of why Pickle Boy took my channel down, is he doesn't want that difference of opinion to be there. But I can't help for it to be there. The sister came over and told me of her abuse and told me that it made her sad. And I saw the brother that he was going to, be harmful to the old man and these children before he was. And I tried to prevent it. So I've seen an actual abusive family profit off of abuse, and I disagree with it. And nobody's been able to have a real conversation as to anything otherwise. And anyone's allowed to do that right now. And even at the end of the day, it's still going to be a difference of opinion. And there's no need to hate anybody over it. There's no need to be mad at anybody over it. There's really no need to insult anybody over it. It's just saying how you feel based on their own footage. I can't say how I feel or make up an opinion that just comes out of nowhere. It's only based off of things that you see and hear or things that they've said. And so, yeah. Aaron says if the cleanup guy is such a big ball and wrapper, why does he depend on middle class people's money? Well, that's anybody that's famous. That's everybody that's trying to be famous. They're not making money off just rich people. They're making money off of middle class and poorer people, because that's the majority of the people. Sorry, guys. I'm looking back on the chat. I'm trying to see what I missed. Like, just going to keep going because I don't know what I missed. Justin, I would watch out though, because that person told me they didn't see any abuse with the old man. So, ask him what he thinks about the abuse, because he told me he didn't see any. Who? Hey, how are you guys doing? The lurker just lurking around. Nice to see you. Kyle says that that other content creator may have a difference of opinion, but when he gets attacked by the cleanup guy in the mob, he thinks that's wrong. Right, but how do you know that they're not in cahoots with each other? Because if he's not talking about abuse, but he wants you to look over in that direction and give him sympathy, it's a distraction. There's clear abuse over here. We have someone in the monopoly that admitted it just the other day. So that person, if he really has discrepancy with those people, he would tell you his opinion on this abuse. Real, not real, doesn't agree with it, fake and or otherwise. But he told me he didn't see any and that the old man wasn't an abuser. So I don't agree with that. So I don't watch his channel. Oh, that sounds, yeah, he's definitely in the, I mean, is that mean to say? Did you hear see what he just wrote? So is it so it's yeah, that sounds like a setup. I don't know. I don't know if you could tell, but it sounds like a setup. Just trying to say, just saying. And now we're not talking about the abuse. You know, we're just I don't it's a setup. That's all I can tell you. Oh, they all watched it. Yeah. If you guys are all watching somebody self-harm, then we're not talking about the abuse or the abusers or the abusers that are manipulating you with somebody who's pretending to do that. Just my opinion. That's the extreme that is happening right now. That's the extreme level that the monopoly will go to not talk about this, but try to trigger or harm the situation or make fun of the situation. Don't fall into that trap, please. But I already see that some people have. Oh, they said he did hurt himself. Over things that the cleanup guy said, or no, 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 no. BR the cleanup guy is never going to address it. There's no need to ask him about it anymore. He's not going to address it. It's part of the abuse role. Gaslighters never admit that it's them, ever. He's not going to admit it. What I'm saying is the person that you're saying self-harmed, has he ever mentioned the abuse? Because I've asked him about it and he said the old man wasn't an abuser. So that's kind of where I'm coming from with it. Okay, guys, I'll be right back. Aaron, that shows you that it's a setup. You see what he just said there? The cleanup guy. He says the cleanup guy and Pickle said they were dying at the video of him doing it. Well, where's the proof of that? And doesn't that show you that that's part of the setup? Okay. Either way, I got to move on. I can't help the audience if you get caught up in abuse and abusive manipulations. Not saying it didn't happen. What I'm saying is that it's something it's there to anger you purposefully when the person that did that has yet to even address the abuse himself. But now me even having talked about it or giving an opinion on it makes me look bad. But that's what it's there to do. It's meant to be a distraction. So, and they're willing to pull out all the stops. I don't know if you guys realize that, but Aaron, no, I don't watch them. I don't give them a view. I don't watch their material, any of them. I don't agree. I don't think you guys should either, but that's your own opinion. You guys are allowed to watch whoever you want and support whoever you want. But the main reason for the channels is that we all know that abuse is wrong. Yeah, and you guys should report that content because that shouldn't be on YouTube. You're not supposed to be self-harming on YouTube and then allow bigger content creators who manipulate you every day and who do things purposefully to hurt you every day to laugh at it and you feed into it. Listen to Roasted and Cassandra. Don't feed into it. Okay? Yeah, right? Yeah. Oh yeah, there was another YouTuber. I don't want to say her name, but she would talk a lot about self-harm and about hurting herself. And each time she did it, and it wasn't even a channel I would normally watch. I just happened upon it, but something about her intrigued me about her. And every time she would talk about hurting herself, I would flag it. And I would like beg YouTube to do something to reach out and help this person because I was worried about her hurting herself. And finally, YouTube got back to me months and months later and said they sent her the proper information to reach out and get help. They acknowledged it and they thanked me. So that's something you guys can do. That's something that you can do. It's positive, is you can flag that material. Don't use it as material or content or gossip or drama. That's what they want. They want to make suicide a joke. They want to make self-harm a joke. They want to manipulate you into caring about it when they've never addressed this abuse that leads right to it. Don't let them control the conversation. I promise you, that's what's going on. But then again, it's just my opinion. Princess said YouTube pulled the video of the poor guy self-harming, but yet never pulled any of the videos of the old man overtly emotionally abusing his family, including the wife, which led her to self-harm herself, right? But we can't do that if we have the coin person laughing at it, saying he doesn't know about it other than until yesterday. He didn't know about abuse until just yesterday. Kyle says we need to stop the abuse that the monopoly inflicts on children. Well, then maybe try to stop those backpacks because we have a big problem with people taking their anger out on other people with shootings, school shootings. So anger never dies. An angry brand that got women, children, family members abused with abusive anger. Maybe it's not the best message to be pushing, but it is the best message to be pushing if you want to make money off of young, impressionable children who can't stick up for themselves otherwise, with their abusive lives, with how their parents treat them at home, with anything negative that happens to them at school. They just are supposed to gather together the money that they already don't have and pay $40 for a child abusive brand that almost got kids killed. They got kids abused just last year in the episode Writing Them Out of Our Lives. And you're supposed to wear that around school. It's not aesthetically even pleasing to the eye, the way the backpack looks. Like someone was saying earlier, maybe on Twitter, you can get a much nicer looking backpack for a much lower price. And you won't be contributing to child abuse or an abuser or an abusive brand or a brand that got women and children abused. You don't have to contribute to it. And I need to remind my audience, and I hope you guys are really listening to me. Please listen to me right now. This situation is so serious. you're going to be seeing situations like you guys were just talking about with that self-harm or whatever. You're going to be seeing more and more things like that to try to trigger the community into deflecting from what about the abuse when there's nothing more important to be talking about in this direct community than this. There's going to be distractions. There's going to be people trying to trigger you. Don't allow it to happen, and don't walk away with hate at the end of the day, because I'm going to be approaching this channel in a different way. This one and my other one too. Sorry guys, everyone in the chat's talking about the logo and backpacks and plush dolls, and I'm getting a little bit lazy. I'm reading it, but I'm not reading it out loud. Kyle says he doesn't want an abuser or clothes or memorabilia that's monetized. It's disgusting. Victoria says that she'll be more aware. Please be aware. Yes. Be aware that these are people that don't want to take accountability, which they don't have to, but I think they're really afraid of my channel being out there. So they're trying to sabotage, lie, create distractions, do things that seem really out of place, like maybe laughing at somebody's self-mutilation. Don't internalize any of it. It's only there to trigger. I promise you. It's only there to trigger. Because they're talking about hurtful content that they drum up to use to hurt other people, to try to trigger people. If they do that, then they're not talking about what about the abuse, are they? Do you think that they're happy that the coin guy just admitted that he saw abuse? Let me ask the audience that. Answer me that in the chat. Do you think that Pickle Boy and Cleanup Guy are happy? Do you think they're happy that hang on a second. Sorry, my cat's on me. Do you think they're happy that the coin guy admitted that there's emotional and verbal abuse in that family when their own argument at the end of the day, I guess the reason they've been staying quiet this whole time is so they could just come out of the woodwork nowhere and just say, oh, it's all fake. Just think it's all fake. She's wrong for thinking it was real when nobody said anything otherwise this past year. Everyone says no. Jennifer says it's hard to keep track of the Monopoly members. Well, just know this. The person you guys are all worried about, have been made to be worried about, the person that Cleanup Guy is making fun of. I asked him myself, this person that you say self-mutilated, I asked him myself, what about the abuse? And he proceeded to scapegoat the brother. And I'm not joking. Now you need to take that for what it is. He said that old man was an abuser, and he proceeded to scapegoat the brother. And that's all he told me about it. So let me ask you this. Is it a possibility that there's people out there in the Monopoly that are set up for you to have this distraction? Is it possible that there's somebody out there that would take money to cut themselves? I'm not saying that that's what happened. I'm just saying, is it a possibility? And is there people online that are that sick that would be willing to back up this abuse and the abusive conversation and take hold of it while manipulating other channels? Is it possible? Is it possible that there's people abusing you and manipulating you online every day and lying to you? And I'm the one that's sitting here trying to make the sense out of it and try to stay the course with the conversation and try to tell you what's really going on or what I really believe to be what's going on. And that's why there's so much hate being driven this channel's way. And if you guys are joining me right now, please click the like button. I need your support. You guys need to at least admit that's a possibility. Because even before this situation, I even asked that person about the abuse and they just scapegoated the brother. And that's not a permissible answer because it doesn't deal with the whole truth. which is it's not just one person's fault or problem. There's abusers everywhere. And if you could point it out, admit it to this footage that we're seeing, then you could let your audience know at home so they could help you could help them. You could help people in your audience by letting them know that, oh, that's not right and you shouldn't abuse people at home. Isn't that the last thing that the coin guy said on the video? He said he doesn't think that you should treat women that way. Right. So then don't normalize it and do a reaction video saying it's okay by ignoring it. And that's just my opinion. Doesn't mean I hate him. And I guess I have to keep saying this every day just so you guys have this reminder, not just you guys, but them as well. I don't hate them at all. Not at all. The thing that you should hate is abuse and considering it entertainment or thinking that it's not harmful. Those are the things that I'm against, but they haven't been able to say anything otherwise, so I guess it's just my opinion and they don't like the opinion, I don't know. Kyle says, "When you speak the truth, the monopoly will be after you to silence it. Sometimes the truth can permanently destroy reputation." Well, that's what they're trying to do with me. I'm telling the truth, and they're trying to destroy my reputation because I got people in the monopoly going around lying about me, saying things, not showing proof like I do, of course, because it just has to be me versus them when it should be everybody against abuse. But if there's people constantly sticking up for it because they make money off of it, then I guess they don't want to be on our side. I don't know, but I don't hate them at all. I don't suggest you guys hate anybody either. It's a big waste of time. Jam says, "Roasted, do you think it's a possibility that the majority of what happened with the scapegoated brother was fabricated to distract from other issues that were going on that threaten the monopoly?" Like what? Like the fact the kids got abused? Do I think it's a possibility that it was fabricated? No, because you see the actual video proof of the brother not doing the right thing online, attacking his subscribers, attacking fans, attacking women, behaving erratically, breaking things in certain video footage that I've seen, making death threats towards people. Those are all the reasons that I knew the old man and the kids were in trouble. That's why I called. And they solidify the story and they back it up when they come out and say that there was abuse that happened. So was it fabricated? I don't think so. Did they just solely try to blame one person when it was everybody's fault? Yes, it's called scapegoating. So it was the brother's fault. It was Pickle Boy's fault. It was the dad's fault, sister's fault. I had somebody tell me it was the kid's fault and my fault. And I'm thinking, well, you're really reaching because the kids didn't abuse themselves and I've never abused a child. So you need to hold the abusers accountable. It doesn't matter if you're their best friend or if you're a fan or if they have money and clout or if they're a millionaire. You are supposed to do what's right. And nobody's been able to tell me anything otherwise. Kyle says, "Roasted, I think the family correlates abuse with their past. That's why they're so defensive about the abuse." Well, but if they put it out there and they create episodes to get money, even telling these throwback stories on the Daughter from New York's channel, on the Scapegoated Daughter's channel, if they tell all these stories and they put it all out there, they can't get so mad to the point where they are willing to lie, threaten, or destroy another channel. It's inexcusable. It's unacceptable. Scapegoated Daughters already run around lying about my channel. They seem to be so upset that they're, fake staging self-mutilation and trying to trigger the audience and hurt people when they should be raising awareness for all these causes that lead directly to suicide. That's what they should be doing. They can do whatever they want, but they're not going to change my narrative or how I feel or how I've been made to feel about them, which is I think they could do better. And I don't hate them. And that I think they could do better. And at any time, any one of them could get on their channel and refute any of what I'm saying. But none of them have. You see, they've just come over, laughed about it, tried to trigger the channel down, already did take the channel down 4 months ago and or laughed about it, and you have to have any kind of conversation about it. So all I can do is give you my opinion. All I can do is tell you I don't hate them and you shouldn't hate them either, but you should keep pushing for the awareness and the prevention, and you guys should still be willing and open to having conversations with people. Send them to videos, show them timestamps, get their opinion, get a conversation. Before they leave the conversation, get them to tell you, yeah, abuse is wrong. I'll never put up with it, or I'll never do it. And then say thank you. And we can agree to disagree, go support who you want, and that's it. That's what I really would like. That would be amazing. Jennifer says, off topic, roasted, but did you keep the kitty you found? I'm glad you brought that up because I did write that down. I was going to mention her. The very first day, I was kind of weary about it because she was hissing at my other pets. And I talked to Kizzybug about it, and she said, well, she's scared. She's hungry and she doesn't know the surroundings. Give her time. I did. And it was just the very next day after I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not getting rid of this cat. I really like this cat. This cat chose me in a sense. And I think one or 2 days longer, the cat would have been dead for sure because it was skin and bones, literally. But oh man, I've been giving her milk, and I've been feeding her, and I brushed her all out, and I got everything out of her her fur, like any things that were caught in there. And her coat is like much brighter now. Like her coat brightened up. And she's actually like wandering around, and she's acting like this place is hers. So I'm gonna keep her. She's very cute, and I suggest you guys do the same thing. I mean, I know a lot of stray animals will dart if they see you, but give some of them a chance because some of them will come to you, and you have the potential to save their life. You could keep them. You could definitely, if you're not going to keep them, please drop them off at the animal shelter and feed them. And yeah, it was a pretty cool thing because I think it's kind of rare. I don't think cats usually come to people, but I think she was really hungry and she needed a home, and she was probably very tired. And maybe she's a smart cat, knew she was going to die otherwise. Or maybe she trusted me. I have no idea, but she's doing great. She's doing really, really good. Heather says her mother took in 6 strays. Oh, wow. Have I named her? Not as of yet. But even once I do, I can't share the name, unfortunately, with you guys. But I've been pondering and thinking about some different names. Justin, one day they will have to address the abuse. They can't keep dodging forever. Yeah, and there's no reason for them to dodge. I mean, if everything's okay, like they've been saying, then why not just address it or ignore it? What are they so worried about, I wonder? Aw. Well, thank you for being a mother of some kittens too as well, Princess Skate. She's a real cute cat. Her coat's real bright now. I don't know, maybe it's the milk or the food, I don't know. I got milk in there for her. I got the water. I got her food. I got the brush. She loves when you scratch the neck and underneath the chin and the side of the ears. She really likes that. Aaron, huh? Oh yeah, she's gaining weight too. Because underneath she had all these, just her ribs showing. It was really not that pleasant to feel. I'm sure it wasn't pleasant for her either. And now she's got a little belly going, so it's good. Thank you guys. Oh yeah, Chris Peck has 2 cats too. They're really cute. Jennifer says her 3 cats were all strays too. Aw. Thank you for taking those strays in. And just a reminder to the audience, make sure to get your animals, spayed and neutered because they need it. But there's too many animals out there. There's animals on the street in some places. So, yeah. Cut down on the population. Princess says canned food will fatten her up. Yeah, that's what we gave her. We gave her some canned food initially. Yeah, milk, and maybe we might give her some eggs too. I'm gonna look that up and see if eggs are okay for cats, because I think it's good for the coat for the dogs. So Kyle says that channel will go the way Daddy05. He commented, hashtag what about the abuse at Philip DeFranco's channel? And it got some traction. Oh, what do you mean? Describe this traction. Do you mean he commented or other people were commenting on it? And listen. These people are abusive, are they not? It's going to get more and more serious, okay? On their end. So we're just going to stay cool as a cucumber over here. You guys got it? Follow along with me. We're staying cool as a cucumber over there. It's going to be hot as a damn fire coming from that end. Okay, especially with hearing that there's traction coming from Philip DeFranco's channel. We over here are open for conversation, willing to stay cool as a cucumber, not angry at anybody, willing to have a conversation, open to difference of opinion. Everyone needs to go away knowing that abuse is wrong. Night Jam. Abuse is wrong, harmful, detrimental, very dangerous, and that's it. Anything that happens beyond that point, whether or not the channel is held accountable, whether or not they have to lose some channels or they get strikes or flags or, it becomes a bigger, well-known thing, that's not up to me. It's only up to the audience and how they've reacted to their video footage. Is that correct? So like I said, guys, over here, no hate, staying cool as a cucumber. Nerdy one, see you later, sweetheart. Thank you so much for stopping by. We love seeing you, hun. Ooh, that's a good trick that vet told you about the canned food. I'll have to listen to that. Okay, so we got a couple people that are exiting. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. Make sure to click that like button before you go. Kyle says lots of likes and replies of agreement. He says he hopes Philip will read it because it was recent video about Daddy05's second channel getting taken down. Oh. What video was that on, Kyle? And actually, everyone in the chat, even if you have to leave to go do it right now, I'll stay right here. Please go message Phil DeFranco and join in that thread that Kyle started. Kyle, let us know what video that was, honey, because getting traction on Philip DeFranco's channel, if he does a video on it, it's out of my hands. It's out of my hands. And I guess it wasn't all my fault after all. So that would be amazing if he could. I really don't have anything against the family, but I can't control what other channels do. Just like I can't control the monopoly lying about my channels or me to try to deflect. I can't control who exposes the story either. But I hope he gets a hold of it because he would do it justice. He would do the story justice, definitely. No, the cat's good, Erin. She's just gaining weight, which has been great. Princess says, confirmation. Aaron says he just Googled it. Milk is very bad for cats. I don't know about that. I don't think so. I don't know. This cat seems to be loving it. This cat was almost dead a couple days ago. Kyle says it was Philip DeFranco's response on Family 05's takedown. It's pretty recent. If you go through this video playlist, it's all about WeCalled. Would you go over there and add on to his thread? Everybody, please go over there. I'm going over there right now myself. I'm going over there right now and I'm leaving a message. If there's nothing to be exposed, then maybe he won't pick up the story, right? He won't pick up the story if there's nothing bad going on over here. But there's something is amiss, and you guys see that how these people have been acting online, and you know they're never going to address it. Maybe Philip DeFranco will. Okay. Ah, a week ago. Wow. Daddy05 neglect scandal. Parents' new controversy. Let's get on there and let's add to Philip DeFranco's or Kyle's thread on there. Let's find Kyle's thread and add on there. And I suggest and I highly recommend that you guys do this every day if you want. You don't have to, but if you feel the desire to do so, then please do that. Oh, it's going to be hard to find him. Even if you get on there and talk about it. Ah, I found it. I found him. How many things did you leave? Because this has got a couple likes on it. I'm going to leave a comment right now. I'm not really exposing the abuse because they exposed it themselves, right? So we're just kind of placing the importance that needs to be placed on it. And also show you that it was for profit, which is the same thing Daddy05 did. Same as Daddy05. Please check it out. Okay, guys. I'm leaving a comment there for Philip DeFranco on Kyle's thread, but you guys could leave it on anywhere. Please do the same. Please contact anybody that you know because it's really out of my hands at this point. The awareness and prevention of the abuse is more important than covering it up or staying silent about it. So thank you, Kyle. I appreciate you doing that, going over there and saying that. Okay, Jen's not going to bed. She's still here. Gonzo, if you can't find it, it's just one little it's a comment in there with a couple likes on it. Then make your own. I encourage everybody to go over there and make your own comment on these videos or on that video. Yeah, use the hashtag and tell them to check out a video and come and give an opinion about it if they want. So we talked about the backpacks. We talked about my cat. We talked a little bit about the coin guy and how that was great. That he admitted to abuse. I mean, I don't think I could say anything. I may not even ever talk about him ever again. What do you think? We may not ever talk about him again because he admitted to it, and as long as he's not perpetuating and still laughing at abuse videos, there may not be any reason to ever mention him ever again. And I have nothing against the guy at all, so please spread the word on that too. And he's the doof warrior because of the playing, the music. He's playing the guitar, people. It's guitar related only. Okay. Kyle says, please, do people are paying attention to it? This may be our chance to reveal the truth. Yeah. Thank you, Gonzo Bombers. Thank you to everyone that's going over to that channel and who's what happened to all my mods? Did I mod people over here? Why is Lita not a mod? Okay, well, I got her modded. Anyways, yeah, please, on Philip DeFranco's channel, on that video from a week ago where he's talking about Daddy05, please take the time to leave a message about this channel and about the abuse awareness that I think should be exposed, needs to be exposed. I don't hate the family at all. I think that they may, hey, Kizzy Bug, I have no hate for them whatsoever, and you guys shouldn't hate them either. Definitely not. Eric says he's going over right now to leave a comment. Thank you so much. Give me 1 second here, guys. So, Kizzy Bug, we have a new theme over here. Cool as a cucumber. Cool as a cucumber. We don't have, we're open to conversations with people. We don't hate anybody. Still wondering about what about the abuse. And as long as people still want to go and support anybody that they want, please, but everyone should know, and if you have a conversation with people that disagree, people should know abuse is wrong, harmful, and extremely, extremely dangerous. Kyle says, thank you, Jennifer. Giving traction to that thread will help the cause. Awesome. Yeah. Oh, she found Kyle's comment. Yeah, me too. So keep, if you find his comment, join the thread and say, hey, Philip DeFranco down here. Come down to this channel, please. No shout out needed. What do you think about this abuse for profit? What do you think about it? Because it's very important. Because all this anger that they're trying to sell in the backpacks got children abused, got women abused, made people very rich, like Pickle Boy, made Daddy 05 pretty rich, but it's still wrong. You don't laugh about it. You don't support those kinds of videos or people. Does no good hating them at the end of the day. But you should still be allowed to say, oh, that I don't agree with that, or I think that's wrong, or that shouldn't be happening. Make sure to click that like button, you guys. I'm going to take a really, really quick break, and I'll be right back. Hey, I'm just coming back real quick. Let me know if you guys can hear me. I just wanted to address something that Chris said. He said he was listening to the wife's stream and he became angry at them talking trash on me. They're the ones that are mad at themselves because there's something to point out that was wrong, to include shouting out Daddy O5's channel, to include blaming Cody for his own physical abuse and getting a bloody nose for being pushed into a bookcase, for laughing at the mom and the dad being embarrassed and humiliated with having being filmed for profit, having sex. They're mad at their own choice for looking at abuse footage. So maybe they feel very foolish now for getting called out for having done something wrong. But I don't hate them, and there's no trash to be talked over here other than difference of opinion. But when people do talk trash, usually it's because they're mad, and they're mad at themselves, and they're mad at their own choice, and mad that I'm exposing it. Not mad that I've done something wrong, mad at their own poor choice. I'll be right back. I see you guys saying, give me that 5 again if you can hear me. I'm back from my break. I see you guys saying that you went over like Princess Skate and you left the message on Philip DeFranco. Thank you so much for doing that. I bet that does feel good. You know, get together every day and start a thread over on Philip DeFranco's channel. We should do that every single day. Every single day, go to his channel. Because there's no hate here, just a difference of opinion. And people, I think, bothered with you pointing out things that are wrong. And if they're not wrong, then you should have nothing to worry about, absolutely nothing to worry about. But I don't know if you guys could tell, people like the cleanup guy will fake self-mutilations, okay? Because the channel you guys are talking about, I said months ago was in this monopoly. Because I went and I asked him, what about the abuse? And he proceeded to scapegoat the brother for about 20 minutes. And I wish I was kidding. I wish he was a better liar. I wish it was a better situation, but that's not what it is. That's not what we're dealing with at all. We're dealing with the cleanup guy faking someone's self-mutilation so he can make a reaction video about it, so he can laugh about it, so you guys can get triggered. When my suggestion to you guys is not to watch him at all. Just like me. I don't watch him at all. So he doesn't faze me at all. So continue to hashtag what about the abuse and focus more on the people that are going to help get the story out and expose it for what it is. Focus more on those people in those channels that are doing things that are not purposefully manipulating your sympathies to use as a distraction. Okay, guys, remember that. Jennifer said she'll try to remember and leave a comment every day. Oh, if you would, that'd be amazing. I'm going to do it myself. So you guys will be seeing me over there, especially on that one video with the Daddy 05. We should keep commenting on that one too, especially. Who has? You have? Oh, good, good, good. No, 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 no. Aaron, I didn't say that he didn't do it. What I'm saying is this situation is so intense that people are doing things to manipulate and trigger people at any cost. You have to look at how that situation was used. How was it used? Well, it was used for Cleanup Guy to laugh about. So if he could look at that channel and acknowledge it, but not look at anything over here, but continue to laugh at the causes and the prevention that we're talking about over here, while talking at channels that never mention the abuse, which is that channel. He only scapegoated the brother, never spoke about the abuse, said the old man was an abuser, the channel you're talking about. I'm telling you my opinion. It's a distraction. It's a diversion. I'm not saying he didn't cut himself. What I'm saying, in my opinion, is he's probably cutting himself for money. Okay? I know that seems very harsh to say, but look at how the story's being used to trigger, to manipulate, how he is actually talking about it and using it on his channel in a comedic fashion, laughing at it. It's not to be taken seriously. All you can do is flag and tell YouTube to get that person help and keep hashtagging what about the abuse while not allowing the monopoly to trigger you because he's laughing about somebody supposedly trying to hurt theirself for whatever reason. But I just told you what reason I think it is. It works, doesn't it? When people say they're going to hurt themselves, you go to their aid, don't you? And if people laugh at it, it would supposedly hurt you, right? Well, it's a made-up situation for that to occur. That's just my opinion. Just my opinion on it. And I only say that because I've asked him myself about the abuse, and he said there was no abuse. So that let me know months ago that person was in the monopoly. And now look, is he not working in conjunction with the cleanup guy? Yeah. Same with Amy's vlogs. She got demolished by the cleanup guy. He would say nasty things about her every day, like pretty much making her seem like the smallest person in the whole world. But she still got paid. She's still not talking about what about the abuse either. So. Oh, it is. It's a shame because he has a lot of talent and he's hysterical and very, very, very funny. But now he's caught up in a monopoly pretending to self-harm. And that's not okay. So I don't watch him. I don't support him at all. Oh, yeah. Lita says, and the tea lady, too. The tea lady running around with no proof saying Roast Studios is, well, I'm not even going to say what she said. That's up to her. She's got to push that fake lie on her own small channel and try to get people to believe it. I know it's not true. The rest of my audience knows it isn't true. All I can keep telling my audience is there's no reason for them not to address what about the abuse. We've never given them a reason to not take it seriously. You see their reaction to it. Let's go up to the higher content creators who aren't causing diversions and distractions, who aren't lying to you, who aren't playing upon your sympathies by manipulating you. Let's go talk to those people, like Philip DeFranco and the other people who has his eye on this channel, who said he could expose it any day now. Any day now. There's a higher content creator with hundreds of thousands of subscribers that knows about the channel, that's seen all the videos, that's thinking about, you know, exposing it. So what's going to happen at that point? What's going to happen leading up to that point? What do you think these abusers are going to do? Well, what have you seen them do? The cleanup guy running around like a chicken with his head cut off, scapegoating Amy's vlogs for 8 months. My gosh. And that's not the only channel. He helped build up the T1 too, was a friend of his, hyping up his rap music long time ago. And then they pretended to be an argument. Now they're friends again. It's all just in an effort to not address the abuse. I mean, how else can he get up and make money on his stream every day? Thinking, or if everyone was to believe or thought, wow, he's supporting abuse for profit and he's helping to manipulate the audience into not caring while bullying at the same time. Well, what now? Well, that's kind of what's going on. So keep contacting Phil DeFranco, because somebody that really cares about abuse will see it for what it is and expose it and not care about any of this little drama with cleanup people and manipulations and they won't care. They'll just expose it. So I suggest that everyone stay willing and open to having conversations with people about the material versus getting caught up in drama or attacking, because that's not what the channels are about at all. Justin says he went to Pickle's new comment thread and had on his video, he asked, what about the abuse? Thank you. Thank you for doing that. I really, really appreciate that. Jennifer, are you serious? Jennifer says she asked Boogie about the abuse on Twitter and he blocked her. Jennifer, really? When did that happen? I would think he would just ignore it or maybe not ignore it, but he's actually blocked somebody? Oh, no. Well, there's no reason to block anybody or not address it, you know? What would be the reason in that? Oh, friendships and money. Well, yeah, maybe. Uh-oh. Well, I've hashtagged him a lot, and I've asked him. He never blocked me. Oh, I'm not supposed to exist. Uh-oh. Oh, yeah, if he blocks me, then he's proof that he knows the channel. Uh-oh. That's what Pickle did. He gave proof that he knows about my channel because he blocked me on Twitter the other day when Daddy05's channel went down. Kyle says he sent a direct message to Philip DeFranco time post on that video because he will directly see it himself. Good. Good. That's good. Well, he was abused, but there's a problem that even when people seem to know it's wrong, they stay silent for friendships. I don't know why. Who's James Gunn? Fairfax says Boogie was defending James Gunn, so he's not surprised. Well, when the old man passed away, he made a video saying we should remember him how he wants to be remembered. But that's not always how it happens, right? Because Hitler wants to go down being made to think he's some great guy, right? I'm sure that's what he wants his memory to be. The savior of Germany. But that doesn't mean you were. Actually, you were the opposite. And people will remember you how they want to remember you. And it's based on how you treated people. It's based on the choices that you made. It's based on the accountability you took or didn't take. It's based on those things. So that's where I disagree with him on that. But Jennifer says other people should try to tweet to Boogie and see if they get blocked. Yeah, you guys tweet out because, I mean, they're not going to block me. I mean, Pickle Boy did though. He acknowledged he knows about the channel because he blocked me directly right after Daddy05's channel went down. I didn't even message him for a couple weeks even. you know? So I was, but I'm not surprised that he did that though. He's trying to protect his, you know, commodity over there, which is his child abuser, basically. Kyle says hopefully it will show up in his feed, and I was very descriptive about the what about the abuse situation. Thank you. I appreciate that. I really do, because you guys don't need other channels who aren't addressing what about the abuse or ignoring it, who scapegoated the brother when I asked, to pretend to hurt themselves to get a reaction out of you in hopes that the conversation will lead towards a one-on-one with the cleanup guy who's reacting to that material that he paid for. Don't give him the reaction. Don't give him the view. This conversation's about Pickle Boy and this old man, and the cleanup guy wants to be the scapegoat. He really desperately hopes that you're talking about him or someone else other than this abuse that leads to suicide and self-mutilation. The mom self-mutilated in this family. If we're talking about a random channel that did it, that won't address the abuse, that the cleanup guy is using in his favor to laugh about because he paid for it, then we're not talking about the mom having self-mutilated. And then those backpacks aren't so great anymore, are they? Because there's a supposed man on there who abused a woman to the point where she self-mutilated her own body. Hurry up and go buy the backpacks, you guys. Maybe they'll have a conversation with you. That's all. That's the point of the hashtag. And some people aren't willing to have that conversation. Some people just want to attack. Maybe they just want to curse at you. Maybe they just want to blame you or gaslight you. But there's a conversation to be had here. Whether or not you think the abuse was acceptable and it was funny, whether or not you think it was fake, whether or not you think it's real, it's a real conversation to be had. It's not to be ignored. It's really important. Somebody made $1 million off of this, millions of dollars off of this, and is held in high esteem on YouTube and amongst his fans, subscribers, and community. But he won't mention that these abuse stories are abuse, and they did affect their lives negatively, and they do affect people's lives negatively, and don't do it. And actually, you're not supposed to expose the abuser as the star, especially when they've never taken the accountability or decided to change. But when it comes down to making more money, they change or pretend to at your expense, at the expense of your sensibilities, by manipulating you to get the maximum amount of money. Yeah. No, no. I'm not worried about that. Kyle says, give Philip DeFranco a basic overview of the abuse situation, and the channel's dedicated to stopping it. Oh, absolutely. And based on whatever kind of abuse footage you want to show him or whatever we're talking about, give him a title of a video or timestamp it for him, because nobody's been able to create some kind of channel to refute anything other than calling me bad names. Nobody's ever refuted any of this or said why it's not real. The cleanup guy's down here. He could do that at any time. He could get on a smaller channel, or they could utilize the Scapegoated Brothers channel, which is not as big in the monopoly, and they could let you, the audience, know what you've been questioning this whole time. But they won't do it. Why? Well, I presume it's because if I put a video out that says this daughter came over here crying about her abuse when she wasn't getting along with her family, when they weren't allowing her on the show, they were keeping her children from her, I presume they don't want you to think that's real now. They don't want you to think that she was abused and affected negatively by it, when everybody is affected by abuse. Whether or not you've been abused, you know somebody or you support somebody who's abusing the audience. Anyone who's chilling over at the cleanup guys, you're supporting abuse, because he abuses and lies and manipulates his audience every single day that he doesn't address this. He won't even tell you why you shouldn't care about it. He just laughs or attacks it or fakes self-mutilation with another channel who should really, really be really disgusted with what he did. I mean, that person's pretty damn talented. Very, very talented. Used to really dislike the cleanup guy and the family, and now is working in cahoots with them to hurt the cause. Because we're talking about the self-mutilation that happened over here with the mom. And the cleanup guy can't account for it, but he can laugh about it. Well, that's not going to trigger anybody over here because we're what, guys? Cool as a cucumber. Hey, Bridget. Open for conversation and discussion. And that's how this will get exposed and the story will get out there. And that's how everybody will know that the abuse was more important than getting caught up in fake drama that was only that its only purpose was to serve to hurt you and hurt the conversation. So don't allow that to happen. Kyle says footage is really important. Hyperlinks, what about the abuse hashtag? And it will lead straight to Rosa Studios reviews about the abuse in the family. There you go. Can somebody answer to Princess Skate's question? She wants to know, how do you time post? Timestamp? The hyperlink for the timestamp only works on the video itself? Okay. It only works on that page. All right. Yeah, and if you guys aren't able to actually timestamp, oh wait, here he said, Kyle, this is from Kyle. If you're on a mobile, Princess Skate, just hashtag what about the abuse in the comments, and it will lead straight to Rosa Studios channel, or if on the computer, link with the mouse button. Yeah, and also maybe there's a part in a video that you really want someone to see, and it's around 20 minutes. You could just tell them, I'll just stick around 20 minutes. You could also do that too. Justin says he won't stop asking what about the abuse, even if it means getting attacked by the old man fans. Well, you may, but be open to having a conversation. Don't attack back, and try to get them to leave the conversation acknowledging that they know abuse is wrong, harmful, and very dangerous, and they'll never participate it in their lives, or that if they're going through it, they could get help. You know, and there's detrimental lifelong effects from it as well. That's what I really want my audience to do. Yes, you're going to get attacked. Because why are we getting attacked? Well, there's people in the family in the Monopoly that lie. The scapegoated sister brought a lot of hate over here just by lying about the channel. So all you could do is try to direct them in the right way. Well, that wasn't true, but check this out, and please let me know that you see the abuse, you care, and you know it's wrong. And that's what's most important, that everyone know it's go away with knowing that it's wrong. Hi, Brandon. Brandon Scott. That's what's really, really the most important. Everyone knowing it's detrimental and harmful, and they won't participate or do it. Because if we can prevent it from happening to someone else or a child, there you go. Now we're talking. Now that's progress. Gonzo Bombers, when they attack you, they're trying to bait you. Don't stoop down to their level. Yeah, that's baiting also. Yes, it's true. It is true. Thank you for using the hashtag. Kyle says he's been attacked multiple times by the old man's fans, especially the other woman that pretended to be me earlier on in the channel. If they're attacking you, they have no reason to address the abuse. So as you're saying, they're attacking out of nowhere for no reason. I know. I validate you. I acknowledge that. That's what's been going on with me too. People just attacking out of nowhere. Some people said they never even seen the videos, but they know the videos are lies and the titles are lies, and now straight attacking about my mods and just whatever they can. It's in an effort to distract. If they're attacking, then they're not addressing the abuse. And as I said, they don't have to, because I already know they're not. That's another promise to my audience. They're definitely not going to address it because it goes back to gaslighting and their abuse roles and this abuse pattern. and the fact of not taking accountability. If they were going to take accountability, they would have done it a year ago. They wouldn't have played all these games online. So that's just my opinion about that. Thank you, Chris. Chris says he's got help with his anger. That's good. Awesome. Yeah, definitely acknowledge that, because anger is going to make you act out or react, and you never really get to the bottom of a situation, and you left someone off the hook. So even when people come down here and they're fans of them and they attack, they're allowing us to get off the hook because they're not even having a conversation explaining where they're coming from, or why this channel shouldn't exist, or why we shouldn't care about abuse. Or so they're not explaining themselves either, or their side. I've taken the opportunity and the chance for a whole channel's worth to talk about how I feel and explain it. Kyle says he's seen Lita's comments on the Sixers channel. She's deflecting. Well, not just deflecting. She's gone around on an 8-year-old's channel before, and I'll make a video. And she said now she's backpedaling, saying now there's no abuse. Now that doesn't really look good. Backpedaling all these stories now, I don't think that looks good. Princess says she remembers when the other woman pretended to be roasted. Yeah. I've heard a lot of bad things. I can only keep telling my audience, there's nothing bad. There's no reason for you not to listen. If you're listening to someone in the Monopoly, with no proof, of course, and they're telling you something bad about this channel, it's in an effort to manipulate and abuse you into not holding them accountable for what about the abuse. I've been saying that the whole time along. And I'm not on the defense, and I'm not here to prove something that can't be proven because it never happened. I'm here to talk about the abuse that's bothering them so. They don't want the audience caring about it, apparently. I don't know. Lita says that the sister's mad that she's a mod for my channel. Yeah, they're really mad that I have support, I'm sure. But unfortunately for them, other people see exactly what I see, not even being forced upon them. It's just their own opinion, and they're allowed to have it. Just as she's allowed to be a mod or not be a mod, she's a grown woman. She's allowed to do whatever the hell she wants to do. Eric says when he gets attacked, he just hashtags, what about the abuse, a bunch of times. Yeah, try to have a conversation with them, Eric, and let them know that there's a conversation to be had. If they are attacking you, are they attacking you because they don't want you to care about the abuse? Are they attacking because they think it's fake and they're worried that you think it's real and they're not explaining that to you? Do they want you to think real abuse is funny? Have they even bothered to explain their position? It's not up to me to do it. Kyle says, you seem like a kind-hearted person. I'm trying. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Gonzo Bummer says, everyone in here, I may never meet you face to face, but I love you all. We feel the same way. You're awesome, Gonzo Bombers. If you guys aren't on Twitter with Gonzo Bombers, then you need to really be following him on Twitter. Jennifer says, so much love to you all. Chris says he thought the Monopoly pulled flag my Toys R Us video. I was about ready to go battle with them, but his latest video is intact. Oh yeah, they might give you false strikes. It happened to me. I made a video about it. Pickle Boy took down my channel for no reason. Cleanup guy came over and laughed about it, said if I was lucky, I'd get to keep this channel, Cassandra's Curse. So, I mean, they've known about the channel for a long time. I've ripped it down before with false strikes, yet no conversation. But that just continuously makes them look bad, because this abuse awareness prevention conversation can really help out a lot of people. Not laughing about self-mutilation, not laughing about people, you know, being hurt from being abused or from feeling pain, and they're laughing at their own cause. They're laughing at the things that hurt them and their family, not me. That's what they're laughing about. So, and not willing to have a conversation about. But like I said, keep going to Philip DeFranco's channel, because I have a distinct feeling this will be exposed pretty soon. Eric said he had 22 comments deleted on Pickle Boy's newest video. Oh, wow. Well, you don't have to, you know what? Listen to this, Eric. You don't have to leave a comment on his channel. And even if it gets deleted, it's still going to pop up in the thread. You can go to the channels of the people that are on his channel and you can have a conversation with them. You can go and support them and become a friend and let them know what's going on and lead them in this direction so they can make up a decision and make up their own mind, which is what Pickle Boy doesn't want you to do, which is manipulation and abuse. But I encourage everybody to come over, whether or not you agree with the material or not. Everyone's deserving of seeing it and getting an opinion. So that's why the channel shouldn't just be ripped down. Shouldn't just silence people freedom of speech like that because you're afraid of what other people are going to think on their own as grown adults or even as children. I mean, you put all this abuse content out there for these children to think is so funny. Let's have them come over, see it's abuse. So when they get older, they won't get in an abusive situation or be abusive, or maybe they could stick up to their abuser and they could learn to love themselves and forget everything that's being said that's negative about them. I mean, look at all the verbal abuse in that family. Pickle Boy's really going to turn around and say that's entertainment and that's okay for kids to laugh at. And if you're going through that at home, just laugh at it. Well, maybe that's how Pickle Boy got through it, but that's not how you're going to get through being around an abuser. That's not how you're going to get through pain. Definitely not with self-mutilation either. You need to expect better for yourself and learn that it's all wrong, everything that's being told about you, and set up a boundary. And if they cross it and keep crossing it, you don't internalize. And if you can, get away from those toxic people. Don't normalize the abuse stories for entertainment. Let your audience know it was wrong and harmful, just as it was. Kyle says together we can do the right thing, even if we get hated on. Our passion to stop abuse stays strong. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. If you guys know anybody that you think would be positively affected by the channel and that could contribute to the channel and that would like the channel, enjoy it, and it would help them, please share the channel with them or a video that you think would help them and start a conversation about it. Princess says, I think we all love one another on these two channels. There is strength and love. We are all united voice saying that abuse in any form is not funny and it must be stopped. Hashtag what about the abuse? Absolutely. Everyone should agree with that. I mean, wouldn't you guys agree if the cleanup guy has time to laugh about self-mutilation? He has time to address what about the abuse and how it does lead to suicide. He had time enough to make a video, a live stream about the suicide forest and kind of laugh it off for 10 minutes while not talking about the prevention aspect. Maybe he has time to address the abuse, but then again, maybe not. And that's why we don't watch him. That's why we don't give him the view. Because my promise to you is that he'll never be held accountable for it, him and his friend and the dad. They're going to be kicking and screaming until this channel gets exposed. At that point, everything will be fake, and I'll be the most horrible person in the whole world with no proof, of course. Those are my promises and my guarantees to you. Gons the Bummer says they can insult us. They may say whatever they may, but they will never take away our fight. Well, sure. Yeah, and they'll never take away this footage that they profited off of. You know, don't even want to take it down. Wow. And there's so many different channels that they have that where the abuse is all spread out amongst. So Kyle says niceness can be a negative effect to anyone. This channel and the main one spreads positive vibes, which other channels see as hostile for some reason. Yeah. Well, it's what Cowpoats said. What does Cowpoats say? We're taking away their fun. So if we're pointing out things that were listed as entertainment, somebody made millions of dollars off of, uploaded as entertainment, and we're saying, hey, wait a second, that's abuse. That's abuse from your real abusive family. That doesn't take any effort to film. That doesn't take any effort at all whatsoever to upload to an audience, normalize and laugh and say is okay. It's quite lazy as a content creator to just pass along the buck and the abuse to your audience, even though, you know, the comedy he got through the abuse with comedy. That's not how all children are dealing with their pain or problems. That That's a coping mechanism maybe he came up with, but it's not a solution. So let's talk solutions. What's the solution? What's the problem? The problem is we're looking at abuse for profit. Nobody wants to be held accountable for it. What's the solution? Get your opinion out there. Let people know that it's wrong. Let children know it's wrong, detrimental. Use their own footage to make that point. Stay strong. Stand up. Speak out. And when I say that, I also mean don't get caught up in arguments or back and forths. Lycan has impressed me so much. There's the people that attack me. There's people that attack him. And he's still like, I love you. I'm here for you. If you've been abused, it's okay. We could talk about this. Like, we get through this. Like, let's raise awareness for this. Like, he's been, like, a lot of you guys have been so amazing. Really. Gonzo's got to get going. He says, guys, I got to get going, but I'll keep everyone posted on whether Boogie blocks me or not for asking about the abuse. Much love and respect to y'all. You too, sweetheart. Thank you so much for all your help and your support. You're much needed over here. Kyle says, smash the like button, please. Yeah, please smash the like button. We haven't had anybody come in who's let us know why they're hitting the dislike or let us know their opinion or perspective. Just people clicking dislike for no reason as of right now. There should be nothing wrong with difference of opinion, and it should never spur hate, ever. Or violence. You should never stoop to that level, ever. Eric says, kill him with kindness. Kill him with the kindness, kill him with the truth, kill him with your perspective, and then offer them the same. It's like, well, you have an opinion and perspective also. You don't have to attack somebody like before getting that out there. And even if they do dislike me or attack, they can address what about the abuse at the same time. For some people, they're not even able to do that. They're just attack, attack, attack. No perspective, no opinion, nothing. Chris says, like, there are urban explorers don't like, but I don't verbally abuse them. Oh, is that a channel you don't like? I don't know if I've heard of that one. Yeah, if you don't like them, let them know why. And then if they're open to having a conversation, then maybe they'll be open to changing or self-recognizing. Now, I pointed out abuse from abusers who will never self-recognize because they never had to. They profited off of their abuse. As Elise Eaton has said on her channel, they found what worked for them. They found their niche. They seen that exploiting the abuse patterns and the abuse in the family made them very wealthy. They don't want to change that. They don't want to say, oh, that's wrong now, or, oh, you're right, we were wrong. They're never going to address that, ever. That's why it's not for them. It's for you guys. It's for the audience. As long as I could keep the channel up, because remember, Cleanup Guy said if I was lucky, maybe he wouldn't take this one down. And I don't know. I don't even know why he wants to rip the channels down. He never told me. He never mentioned anything about the abuse. So I have no idea why he wants to rip the channel down. He has no reason to. Kyle says, take them down and teach them that their misdoings have bad effects on people. Well, that's why YouTube's cleaning it up now. And they just got rid of Daddy05. And that's why Kid by the Camera, that's why Pickle Boy got real scared and blocked me. Because he knows he's the next to go. Because everyone knows that his channel is just like Daddy05's. If not the same person, because they abused the same child together, Cody. In the episode, Cody gets kicked out. Check that out. Cody gets kicked out. Abusing the same child. Profiting off of the same abuse in their own families. Creating abuse for the kids to have to go through. That's what happened in the episode. I'll write it right here. Writing him out of our lives. That's what happened with that episode. Nobody got the kids out of this dysfunctional, abusive family. They just left them in there to thrive in abuse. But we all know you don't thrive in abuse. The words don't go together at all. They were doing anything but thriving. And hearing that one was given drugs, the other one had his nose busted, and he was pushed into a door. The other one was threatened to do drugs or he's going to get beaten up. Pickle Boy, as the abusive uncle as well, has no idea that he could have got the brother out of that house that he owns. And the dad could have not been an abuser and enabled the brother and helped the kids and himself. So if you guys haven't watched yet, watch my video, why I called DSS on the greens. It's only 5 minutes, and it'll explain to you why I called. It's a very important aspect about the channel. If there's an abuser in the home who's been abused, which was the scapegoated brother, physically, mentally, emotionally abused, right? As a kid, he has trauma. There was sexual abuse in the home. If they have an anger problem, which he exhibited online all last year, they can't control their anger. They take it out on other people. And they've never had to self-recognize or get help. Don't leave that person like the angry neighbor did, giving him drugs, no problem. The Riddler, oh no, Adderall. She said she gave him Adderall. She gave the kids Adderall that the scapegoated brother took. Don't leave that brother in the house with the innocent kids and the elderly dad. It's my advice to my audience. It's something that's very important that I need to get explained to you from the channel, this channel and the other one. Don't leave that person in the home, because I promise you, abuse always occurs. It always ends up occurring when you enable abusers. Just like the old man, right? Never had to get out of his abuse role, was abusive till the day he died. Was an abuser till he died. An abuser, got the kids abused even last year. Get the person out of the home. It's not loving towards children to keep an abuser around them. Even though you think you might be helping the addict, you're not. Sometimes they need to fall on their own to decide that they're going to make the change. So that's a very important aspect I need to push to you guys so my audience knows. I know everyone in the chat already knows. People that support know. But the kids that come over, the people that just come over blindly supporting, do they know? Can they go away with knowing that? Because that's one aspect of this that's so important. Being able to having, you know, been the cause of the children not having been abused. Foreseeing abuse that's going to occur before it does. Holding people accountable for not being able to control their anger online while living with elderly people and kids. It just all goes back to, you know, getting out of the dysfunction and realizing if you come from abuse and trauma, it might persist in your life forever unless you recognize it and get out. And you might push it upon children who are completely innocent, who want nothing to do with it, who are, you know, at your mercy of getting it correct, really. Kyle says if there was no abuse that Pickle claimed, why is he getting paranoid about his channel right when his BFF Daddy05 just got taken down? I think he knows his time's up. Yeah, he blocked me on Twitter right away a couple days ago. So he knows about the channel, very paranoid about it, willing to gaslight, blame this channel, trying to trigger channels to get taken down, all while not addressing the importance of all the abuse they expose themselves. He knows he's Daddy 05 2.0. He profited off child abuse. He helped Cody to get abused, and Cody gets kicked out video. And he stayed silent, which is neglect, which is also abuse, because he told his audience on Twitter it wasn't his place to say anything. The dad was doing it for the dad. Well, it's the same thing with the coin guy who's laughing about the abuse, shouting out Daddy 05's channel, saying he loves that guy, blaming the abuse on Cody. That wasn't all right in hindsight now, right? Was it? So we have to read situations for what they are. When you see abuse, you call it for what it is, because the abuser, of course, isn't going to want you to see it as abuse. He's profiting off of it. It's up to you to say something. You don't have to like every bit of content they put down. Heck, I get a lot of hate on my content. And not every bit of content that they put down may be good or non-abusive or may not be not harmful to children. And look at Pickle Boy. He's an abuser, not getting it right, not really understanding what he's doing and what he's not doing. This really has to stop. On Pickle Boy's channel, just a couple months ago, him getting it wrong again, trying to make it seem like he's a great guy by saying you should respect women, but by taking everything out on a child who learned everything from you on towards not respecting women. Mind you, he just lost his abusive grandfather, and he may not be doing well in school because of that. Also, he has a short attention span and ADHD. Well, USC just came out saying that kids playing video games too much, which all he does is buy them games and video games and doesn't spend quality time with them, right? Other than abusing them on camera for profit. So he could be the cause of that ADHD, if not the abuse exacerbating it. And he's definitely the cause of that child feeling bad about himself, humiliated, and or bullied because he's a narcissistic abuser, pushing everything off onto a child in that episode, exploiting that child just 2 months ago, getting it wrong again. And that's even after the DSS call, getting it wrong again. Blaming it on the audience, blaming you guys for that episode, saying, well, the audience wants to see our lives, so here it is. Thanks, Princess, for helping with all those abusive video titles to get us out of poverty. Well, the audience who you normalized it to, you told it was funny, they're the ones that did it. They're the ones that gave you that paycheck. And now they're wondering, well, wait a second, that load of bull you fed us about this real abuse being fake is not true. It wasn't funny after all. What about the abuse? Crickets. Nothing. I already made the money. He's not going to give it back. I already built up the platform. Doesn't want to lose it. So it's got to be everyone else's fault or problem. Stay cool as a cucumber, guys. It's be easy to get upset or angry about this material, but it's not going to get the material out there. It's not going to be able to keep the channel up long enough for Philip DeFranco to come check it out. Eric says the abuse, degradation, the humiliation, the lies are going to end. Well, we don't know for sure if they will. Maybe, maybe not. But you can at least get your opinion out there. And we can't be so demanding that we can expect things to occur just because we want them to. We don't know that things are just going to end. It ended for Daddy05. We could only hope it would end for Pickle Boy and for all these different platforms, abusive platforms that he's created. But it's not up to us. It's up to the people. That's the whole problem. Pickle Boy wants to decide what ends and what happens and what's good and what's bad. It's up to the people. That's why the channel is allowed to be up and people to come. And he tore it down. He doesn't want people to think for themselves, which is one of the worst atrocities I could think of, manipulating people into not being able to think for themselves, taking away your choices, letting you live in self-doubt about how you feel about seeing abuse footage of women and children and animals. It's up to the people. Just like the people in the beginning thought it was funny, made millions of dollars, the majority of the people may still think it's funny. I really don't know. But the majority doesn't know. That's what I do know. They're never going to know because they're never going to shout it out or talk about it or acknowledge it. So you got to take it up to a higher channel that will care, like Philip DeFranco or maybe Boogie. I don't know. I don't know. Mad Woman Muse, Chambers of the Heart. Maybe you want to contact somebody on the news. Maybe you want to contact the CEO of YouTube, who's a mother, and who maybe will understand. Someone who just got rid of Daddy05, and maybe will understand. Kyle says, if Pickle goes down in the future, a clone might take his place unless YouTube has a better grip on abusive content. Yeah, that's also another thing. They need somebody who's going to be there and really monitor it, right? Really check the flags, really watch the footage and decide for themselves. Oh, wait a second. Yeah, I'm not an idiot. I'm not going to be told that this real abuse is fake and that it's entertainment. It's a definite flag. Yeah, we need those kind of educated people to making those decisions. so abusive people don't go away with millions of dollars because they have enough abuse to kill a horse in their family, and they'll exploit it like beating a dead horse, you know? You need people to hold those guidelines, hold people accountable for those guidelines and for the material that they put out there. That's good, Eric. Awesome. Fairfax just said, Daddy05 just moved over to Twitch. They're supposedly going to post some old videos over there and do live streams with the kids. Well, why do you think Twitch? Well, you can make money on Twitch. It's all about money. It's a business for them. This is the way they choose to make their money. What are they doing otherwise? Abusing their kids and they're living in poverty? Well, then we have a pickle boy type situation. So best use the abuse to get on out of there. And, you know, at the detriment of everyone's health and well-being, women and children included, let's just, you know, keep making money. Jennifer says YouTube needs to get it together and not allow any abuse on its platform. I agree. Kyle says on any platform, abuse should not be tolerated. I agree. Jennifer, they should hire you to do that roasted. You would do a great job. Oh, yeah. I would have that job hands down. It is a job because it's like, you know, there's so many channels that try to get away with it. But yeah, they do need people that would just not put up with any BS whatsoever. Eric says YouTube does not back up their own guideline or monitor content like they claim they do. With the Pickle Boy situation, no. And let me read you this one more time. When Daddy05 went down, they said, and I quote, content that endangers children is unacceptable to us. We have worked extensively alongside experts in child safety to make sure we have strict policies and are aggressively enforcing them. Well, what about Lights Out with child neglect and abuse and domestic violence? What about the flying truck video where we got homophobia and gender stereotypes and child abuse and neglect? What about Goes Too Far with the nephews, all this emotional and psychological abuse and animal abuse and cruelty? What about Doom of the Creepy Uncle with some more emotional abuse and psychological abuse? What experts are they working alongside with? It is ambiguous because how big of an expert are they if they're letting certain things go by and other people get the slap and the channel taken down? It has to be equal for everybody. It really does. Kyle says if Roasted was a monitor, Pickle and the old man will be gone in under half an hour. Oh yeah, because I know all the tapes, all the footage, the timestamps, the reasons it should go down, the reasons it never should have been up, why it's not entertainment. I'm the only one who cares enough to speak with you, and they're not doing it, are they? They don't care about you guys at all. They don't care about the audience at all. Actually, in this episode, this has really got to change. Oh, this has really got to stop. On Pickle Boy's channel, blaming the audience for him showing him being mean to the nephew, blaming him and being a bully, humiliating him. Blaming you guys. Showing all this abuse footage and not talking to you guys about it, placing importance on it, telling you it hurt them because we have to back up. We made the main abuser the star. He lied about who he was at one point to make more money, pretended to be a better guy than he was. He's a huckster. He got one over on you guys. Check out my real or fake video. Please. Princess says we can cite that Goes Too Far with the nephew's videos, etc., and our emails to the CEO. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Tell them the most abusive ones and let them know. And then turn around and show the abusive women too. Caught in a trap. Out of the shadows. Web of deceit. You know? I think if the CEO really knew about all this and we could get in contact with her and speak with her directly, I think she would care. She's a parent. She should care. That's why I was like talking to Decrec about it. I'm like, I know you care. You know, maybe you don't care enough to not profit off of it, but I think I know that you see that this is wrong. And what did he say? He admitted it, right? Just as I thought. He thought it's wrong. Kyle says we don't control Pickle Boy's nephew, so he needs to stop blaming others and take some responsibility. Oh my God, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And the little boy can only control himself so much because he's reacting to being treated bad and being exploited and being abused. It's just another episode of child exploitation. We don't control his content either, right? Pickle Boy puts out what he wants, and he blamed you guys for that in that episode. This really has to stop. Check it out. When he's berating and belittling that little boy, he says, well, you guys in the audience want to see this, so no, you can't blame the audience for you showing abuse. You wanted to show it and profit off it, and that's exactly what you're doing. He's got ads running on that video as well. Tammy says about the backpack selling, anger never dies. I know it. Fairfax says, I think the only reason Daddy 05 got taken down was because the charges they had against them and were found guilty. Well, yeah, they are convicted child abusers. Can you turn that on? But weren't some people saying they were back to their old tactics? They were back to their old tactics, I heard. And there's public outcry about them also, because a lot of people know about that situation and aren't okay with it. Now, if my channel keeps getting ripped down by Pickle Boy and his cleanup friend, the majority of the audience won't even have any chance to even know about it. So I wonder why they're doing that. Oh, to control the narrative and control and manipulate you thinking for yourself, which is wrong. I encourage you to think for yourself. Whether or not you think all of this is bad and you still want to support Pickle Boy, whether you think it's okay and you still want to support him, I don't care. I honestly don't care. I honestly care about him ripping this channel down to manipulate you into doing what he wants you to do, which is not care and think it's funny, which we all know is not true, just my opinion. Just my opinion. We should all think that child abuse, animal cruelty, abusing women and men is not funny and it shouldn't be used as entertainment to further yourself on YouTube. I mean, imagine if I showed abuse tomorrow on my channel. Oh my gosh. I could upload it and get money. I could get more subscribers. Oh, well, why aren't I doing it? Well, I don't think it's right. That's why. And that's where we differ. It's merely a difference of opinion. It doesn't mean that he has to hate me. Doesn't mean I hate him. I just think it's wrong. I just think it's dead wrong. Ah, Kyle King, hashtag, we don't run Pickle Boy's channel. Absolutely. So he can't blame the audience for his content like he did in that episode, right? This really has to stop. Doesn't make any sense, does it? Because the audience isn't getting paid for what he's uploading, nor are we controlling what he uploads. In fact, the majority of the audience gets mad that they can't control that he lies to them with clickbait, right? So I guess keep supporting him if you feel that way. I don't know. Princess is asking Bridget, have you emailed the CEO of YouTube? I encourage you guys to email the CEO. Let her know about the channel. Tell her no shout out needed, please. What about this abuse? Why is it on here? Because it goes against what they said, right? And I quote, content that endangers children is unacceptable to us. We have worked extensively alongside experts in child safety to make sure we have strict policies and are aggressively enforcing them. That's what they say. So you know what? Look at that truck hitting that little boy's body. Look at that little boy being called queer. A little boy being made to think there's something wrong with them. People being made to think there's something wrong if you're homosexual. Abusing the daughter because she's depressed and is mentally ill. Abusing the mom who really did self-mutilate herself because of the dad abusing her. And self-mutilation includes cutting and burning. And what did Pickle Boy say she did right after that divorce? She burned a cross under her arm. Get the experts to check that out. Check out that divorce interview too, where the mother was railroaded into making it think like all this was her fault when it wasn't true? And we've seen that cross she cut on her chest too, did we not? That all leads back to the man, this supposed old man. And I would even go so far to say Pickle Boy as well. If Pickle Boy's scapegoating his mom, right, in the divorce interview, taking the dad's side, coming up with these horrendous stories saying, oh, when I was a baby, she burned me, and she's an abuser, and she's this, she's that. Is it so far-fetched to think that maybe she burned that cross partly because Pickle Boy was hurting her too? What do you guys think about that? Because I'll tell you, goes hand in hand. Her child could hurt her just as much as the husband. And with the camera and with those wet t-shirt contests and all these girlfriends and never the dad being held accountable for the abuser or getting help or changing for his family, the wife who stuck it out for him all that time, never making the choice to not abuse, never saying, wow, I contribute to this. I'm part of this. I could help the family more, you know, by helping with his addictions. So we could get food on the table, so we could get the kids the shoes and the right clothes, so we could get to the anger management classes, not until they're court ordered, but you just self-recognize. But even with court ordered anger management, that still didn't help him being an abuser, right? We still see footage with him abusing and footage with him normalizing himself to the audience in the Jake Paul roast, saying you don't abuse, you don't cheat on women, you treat women with respect. That's what he was saying. Well, then why did he treat his wife like a dog? Why is Pickle Boy calling his own mom a dog in my respecting women video and bedroom invasion video? Because they're abusers that learned from each other, never got out of their roles, blame the mom, and had zero respect for each other. Zero. Because if you have respect for someone, are you going to walk in on them when you know they're having sex and film them? Especially if they're your parents. He had no respect for his parents because of the abuse and because he was real selfish too and greedy. He knew abuse sold, so he sold it. He sold it to all you guys. And I'm telling you, it was abuse that was sold to you that was wrong. It's not right. It's not right to profit like that. But you know what? I think I'm going to get going. I know there's 24 watching. I'm very appreciative of all of you showing up. I told you I'm losing my voice and it's still going, but I'm so appreciative of you guys. I love you guys so much. Bridget says betrayal, hurt, and pain. You got it, girlfriend. Absolutely. Princess says she's getting a good many likes and comments from her post on DeFranco's channel. Before you guys get off this stream, promise me you'll go over to DeFranco's like Princess did, and like I know all of you guys already did, and leave another comment, please. Let them know about this channel. Let them know about a video that you think is important or a topic or a subject or something that resonated with you. And just thank you guys so much. You're such beautiful people that care about other people. You care about yourself. You care about the world. You care about children. I'm thankful you guys navigated your way to this channel. You guys are beautiful, awesome people. Make sure to hit the like button. I'll get back to you very soon with another live stream, Spreaker, and or video. All of my love to you guys. And thank you for joining me today and having a very important conversation with me. Have a good one. Take care. Cassandra's Curse, out.